and telecommunication. Mechanical and mechatronics are not in this class. Okay, so this assignment is part of your fulfillment part of your fulfillment of requirement leading to the Bachelor of Engineering, who take this BGGE 3713, Engineer and Society. Okay, now the objective of this assignment is to test you to let you understand the concept and theory learned in this course. Okay, you have learned the code of conduct of a registered person. You are going to learn the technology and the society and so forth. So this assignment will demonstrate how is your understanding on the concept or theory learned in this course, and then expose you to a technological advancement, because you are supposed to discuss a recent technological development, right? So by doing in-depth research, literature review on the technological development, you will expose yourself to a technological advancement. And this also aim to enhance your knowledge by gaining related material, determine the suitability of material used. For example, you may need to justify your facts with statistic, with bar chart, with pie chart or whatever. Okay, and then you are going to present a written assignment in a proper way. And how are you going to write your report? Okay, where the flow is okay, good. Now, delivery method. This assignment requires students to submit a well-written and well-formatted report and to present the idea or argument effectively. That means this involves your critical thinking, where you need to write down your argument clearly and effectively. Okay. Now, submission date. I will give you up to week 9 to submissions. If you have submit late, there will be a penalty. Okay. Let's look at one. Late submission within 1 to 3 days. Total marks will be deducted by 10 marks. That is quite a lot. So please don't pay the full. Late submission within 4 to 7 days. Total marks will be deducted is 20 marks. Okay. If you submit late than 1 week, the whole course will be rejected. Whole coursework will be rejected, and you get 0 marks for your coursework. Once you get your 0 marks or you fail your coursework, actually is no point for you to sitting for the exam. Yeah, because when you sit the exam, even your exam you score A, but you still consider fail. For this paper, you need to pass your assignment as well as the examination, final examinations. Okay. Now, assignment policy. All works presented for assessment are expected to be the student-owned and original work. And you can make reference to the website, to the books or whatever, but the writing, I'm expecting you to do it 100% on your own. Okay? I want to see your own and original work. The lecturer expects all students at honest and meticulous acknowledgement of all the sources of material. Sometimes you may get some statistic to support your point or whatever. Okay, please put a citation and then list down in the reference list where is this statistical figure or chart, pie chart or whatever coming from. Okay, it is important to put a citation there. I trust you know what is a citation, isn't it, by now? Anyone doesn't know what is citation? All knows, Okay. So plagiarism, all works must be original and not previously submitted for assignment at this university, college or elsewhere, okay? And your citation and your reference need, I want you to use a Harvard referencing system. List down your author according to the alphabetical order, yeah? And check your originality report, okay? From the Google Classroom, okay? There is an originality report, not more than 25%, yeah? Okay, requirement. What are the requirements? The requirement is I want you to form your own groups. I don't fix a group for you. You go and form your own groups within the same tutorial class. You get me? You form your own group. That is, your group member must be coming from the same tutorial class. You can have 4 students per group or 5 students per group. Not 6, not 3. Okay? And then your group, you delegate your work to your group member, and then you're required to write an essay in about 2,005 to 3,000 words. Okay? This 3,000 words is excluding your appendix, table, or data. For example, if you have a lot of data, that in in the discussion, you just summarize it. And then if you want to put in the data, then you put under appendix, okay? The appendix, the wording in the appendix is not counting. I only count your essay that is 2,005 to 3,000 words. So one page is around 2,005 words, okay? It's around 10 page plus. You should demonstrate your understanding of the concept or knowledge covered in this course. Now, in your discussion, I want to see that you have made use of the knowledge that you had learned from this course in your assignment. Okay, don't everything pluck from the sky, your opinion. Try to apply the theory or knowledge that you have learned in this course and put them in the assignment there. Okay, for example, if you are discussing about the WhatsApp or the development of WhatsApp, then you can apply whatever you have learned in the tutorial and then put it down into your assignment. Okay, now make sure that you express your idea and or your opinion using a clear, simple, precise English. Now, I don't expect you to write with a very high standard of English. You should write your essay and express your idea using a simple English. Okay, this is very important. You are an engineer. One of your program learning outcome is to communicate to general public at large. General public may not know your jargon, may not know your technical terms. Okay, so please try to use as simple as possible your language. Yeah, if you use a very high standard language, it does not give you any extra marks. And to explain something technical in a layman term, in a simple language, this is more challenging. Okay, E is to give full reference using Harvard referencing system for any information you quote. Plagiarized work will be given a failing grade. The acceptable percentage of Google Classroom originality report is 25% and below. Same as your entrepreneurship. Before you submit, you need to check the Google Classroom originality report that it must be below 25%. What happens if it is more than 25%? That means some of your points that you have quoted, you have copied from the textbook or from internet, you does not give it citations. So please put a citation at the back. Now, when talking about citation, the idea is you read from the article and then after that you rewrite that paragraph or sentences using your own words, but the meaning is still the same, and then at the back give a citation there. Okay. However, if you are copy bulat, if you copy it exactly the same sentence or whatever, then you need to highlight and not highlight, sorry, you need to italic the part that you copy. Okay. For example, if I say, if one of the paper published that, it say the impact of WhatsApp to the society is it deter the relationship between people in the short distance. Then if you copy this directly, then you need to italic it. Okay, so that people know that this one is copy bulat, yeah, and give a citations. Your assignment should be typed in. I want your assignment to be in double spacing, yeah. Okay, and use Times Roman size 12. Don't use size 11 or 10. That is too small. Okay, use size 12, double spacing. And your assignment should have a title page. You should have a title page that's talking about your index number, your group, program, and so forth. And each group assignment is to be accompanied by a statement of contribution of each group member. You need to say that Mr. A and A is contributing to part 4.1. Mr. B and C contributed. Mr. B and B contributed to the part or sections 3.2. Okay, I want to see who is doing which sections. Okay, and this group assignment contributes 60% of your overall marks. So that means another 40% will come from your examinations. So this group assignment carry you 60%. So try to make it a good assignment and score as high as possible. Okay, and then deadline for submission is week 9. Any question up to here? Are you clear about the requirement of this assignment? Any question? No question, huh? So I know if no question, then I have to assume that you understand all, yeah? Okay, deadline is week 9, yeah? Okay, what is the assignment about? The assignment question or assignment brief. I want you to select a recent technological development, not the technology developed 20 years ago, it's a recent, okay? Because this assignment is linked to your PLO 11, that is lifelong learning. So in order for you to achieve your program learning outcome of lifelong learning, you need to do your literature search, you need to search for information of a recent technological development and discuss how does this technology impact the society, how does it influence the society, just like what you have discussed in the last 2 tutorial, okay? And if you were one of the engineers who developed this technology, now the challenging part is here. If you were the one of the engineer who developed this technology, discuss how could you ensure integrity at work. That means if you are the one who developed this, one of them developed this technology, how are you ensure that integrity at work? That means how are you ensure that you are following the code of conduct for registered person? Okay, how you play your role and responsibility as an engineer, and how you make sure that you follow the code of conduct for registered person. Okay, so this is the part that you need to discuss. Okay, any question about the assignment brief? So quiet. Have you all wake up? Okay, now let's look at the attachment 1. Attachment 1, I want you all to fill in your name here, your student ID, program of study and year of study, and then your signature here. You must sign. Previously, the entrepreneur assignments, you didn't sign or didn't fill in this one. Okay, so plagiarized statement is attached. You need to attach this what we say, the originality report. Assessment rubric is also attached, and then a soft copy of your assignment in PDF form. Don't submit in Word form or whatever. Submit it in PDF form. Okay, and then here put down your originality report, how many percent that you have copied from others. Okay, plagiarism statement, same as entrepreneurship. Write down your semester, what is your program, what is your code, BBGE 3713, engineer and society. And then you have to declare that the work is the original work. Now, this is a part where I want you to fill in your name, your student ID, and your contribution. Section 3.1, if let's say you are responsible for section 3.1, then you put section 3.1. If you're responsible to write section 4.0, then you just write out section 4.0. Okay, and then sign here. And date. Now, let's look at how I'm going to mark your attendance. This is the rubric, yeah. Okay, for your information, this assignment is to assess you based on CLO 1 and CLO 4. CLO 1 is apply principle of ethics of a professional engineer in relation to society and norm of engineering practices. So the first part that I am going to look into that is your integrity of work. I want to see how you discuss yourself, your role and responsibility as an engineer. Okay, so if you want to get the high marks, you must demonstrate in-depth understanding on the role and responsibility of engineer, and the argument or opinion are linked to the code of conduct and presented in a forceful and convincing way. Okay, so if you discuss your role and responsibility, if there is a conflict of interest or whatever, then you may want to declare, then you can link it back to your code of conduct of registered person. Okay, which clause 3 point something that is saying that engineer can only receive the benefit from one party and not from multiple party. So you need to link it to your code of conduct. Okay, so if you did not show any adequate understanding on the role and responsibility, you will get 0 to 8 marks. Okay, so please be very careful on this. Then code of conduct of registered person, this is the one that I asked you to download. So in your discussion from time to time, especially when you discuss the role and responsibility, you need to refer to the code of conduct and cite it, okay, code it under clause 3.2, under clause 3.1.1 or whatever. Okay, relate your discussions to the code of conduct of registered person. Okay, Up to here, are you clear? Any question? Okay, if no question, then another three rubric is assessing your CLO4, yeah, course learning outcome number 4, review literature and the current issue in relations to engineering activities. So now, when you do your discussions, I want you to justify your point, okay? And when you justify your point, I want you to have a citations or I want you to have a statistic to justify your point, okay? So every major point, let's look at the under excellence column. Every major point was well supported and with several relevant facts, statistic and or example, okay? So that's why every point that you discuss, you need to justify, you need to show proof that what you say is true. This is under the use of statistic, give you 14 to 20 points, 20 marks. Figure and table, all figure or tables that are effectively interpreted and discussed. Now, in your entrepreneurship assignment, there are many of you just put in the table or figure without discussing it. This is not the right way, okay? Whatever figure that you have put in, put citations, and then you need to discuss it. For example, I put in table 1, percentage of a number of users for WhatsApp. Then you just say that as shown in figure 1, the percentage of user of WhatsApp has been increasingly yearly, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So remember every figure, every diagram or table that you quoted, you must explain it. It's not just put there for fun to increase the number of pages. Okay? If you put in the figure and do not discuss it, I will give you a 0 to 6 mark. Okay? References. Now, because this CLO4 is linked to the lifelong learning, one of your PLO 11 in your program learning outcome. So you need to know how to find the references, how to find the material. So references is very important. References section is complete. You are doing it using the Harvard referencing system. In the text, you have a citation. It's comprehensive, cover a lot of things, and follow the required format. Then you can get 8 to 10 marks. Okay. If you have no referencing system used, I straight away give you 0 marks because it does not achieve the program learning outcome 11 lifelong learning. Okay. So this CLO4 is mainly testing on your lifelong learning. How do you do your lifelong learning? Okay. So these two parts, CLO1 and CLO4, will give you 100 marks. And it contributes 60% of your overall course mark. So where are another 40% coming from? Another 40% are coming from your final online assessment. That means it's your exam, open book exam on your at the end of the semester. And for your information, since CLO1 and CLO4, I have assessed you through the assignment. In the exam, I will assess you through CLO2 and CLO3. Okay, in other words, in exam, you only focus on technology and society, CLO3, and sustainable development, CLO2, technology and society, and sustainable development, CLO3. Okay, so exam, we focus on two learning outcome. Assignment, we focus on 2 learning outcome. Okay, any question? This is all about the assignment. Week 9, Friday of week 9. Are you okay with the assignment? Any question? Hello? Are you following or not?
Yes, sir. So far, no question.
Okay, so far no question, so you know what to do. Okay, let's go to our lecture. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, today we are going to talk about the route to be a professional engineer and also the difference between BEM and IEM. Okay, now, okay, the structure of engineering organization in Malaysia. Let me set up my pointer. Okay, so in Malaysia we have two local in Malaysia, not the IMEC of this UK or whatever. I'm talking about Malaysia. Okay, the structure of engineering organization we have two. One is BEM, the Board of Engineers Malaysia, which is gazetted by the law Act 138. Okay, and there is a professionals body or learned organizations called IEM, the Institution of Engineer Malaysia. Okay, so BEM is the organization where you register yourself with BEM as a graduate engineer after you have graduated. Okay, we cannot apply a membership from BEM. We can only register with BEM as a graduate engineer or professional engineer. Okay, but BEM you can apply as a member. Okay, it is a professionals body that help out the BEM to promote engineering activities, and there are many technical technical committee under IEM. Okay, so we have two, BEM and IEM. Don't confuse, yeah. Our student chapter is BEM Student Chapter or IEM Student Chapter. Class, do you aware that we have a student chapter of one of these organizations?
Yes.
What is it? Is it IEM or BEM?
BEM, if not mistaken.
No, BEM, there is no such thing as a student chapter or whatever, because you cannot apply for membership. You can only register with BEM. Okay, so the student chapter is IEM. Are you a member of IEM Student Chapter? Hello, class? How many of you are the member of IEM Student Chapter? You should join as a student chapter member, student member, to IEM, so that you can widen your network and so forth. Okay, if you haven't do so, you still got 1 year plus. So please join IEM as a student member. Now, what is IEM? IEM is the Institutions of Engineers Malaysia, known as IEM, and it is a professionals body. Okay, and it serves more than 45,000 members in Malaysia. This is the number of the. This is not the number of engineers, because there are some non-engineering graduate also can join IEM. They will join IEM as a corporate incorporated member. Okay, but their degree are recognized by IEM that is suitable. Okay, and then it also covers overseas and communities in Malaysia. It was formed in 1959 and was admitted a member of the Commonwealth Engineering Council in 1962. So it's not only in Malaysia, it's also have a linkage, have a relationship with the overseas organizations, member of Commonwealth Engineer Council. The institution is qualifying body for professionals engineer in Malaysia. So the corporate member or the member of IEM, it can apply for to the board of engineer to be a professionals engineer. Okay, when I'm talking about corporate member is MIEM, member of IEM. Member of IEM, we can have a graduate engineer, we can have incorporated engineer, we can have senior member or whatever, but one of the category called corporate member. If you are the corporate member, then you can apply to BEM to upgrade your graduate engineer to professionals engineer. Okay, and it represents all discipline of the professions. As I mentioned to you, there are many technical committee under geology, engineering, civil engineering, computer engineering, or whatever. Okay, so every discipline is also represented by IEM. Thus, it takes a broad view of the professional scenes. We have many technical committee. Okay, what is IEM Missions? IEM is the Institutions of Engineer Malaysia that aim or the objective is to be premier learned engineering society, championing the adoption of ethic and professional practices is in the sector of the industry, in all sector of the industry. Okay, so it's championing the adoption of ethics and professional best practice. Okay, so again, ethics come out here. So we can see that even in BEM or IEM, there are also ethics. So ethics is very important in the engineering practice. So mission, IEM shall promote sound professional engineering practice in support of the socio-economic development objective of the nations. Okay, it means that IEM is to promote engineering practice, engineering activity. services the need and interest of its member and the public, and uphold the social standing image of the engineering professions. Okay, it uphold the image, the positive image of engineering professions. It contribute towards nation building because we have many technical committee. We have many. They always have a discussions, have a meeting to see how are they going to help the nations to develop. Okay, so it's contribute towards nation building and shall strive to enhance society's consciousness of science and technology. So these are the vision and missions of the Institution of Engineers Malaysia, IEM. Okay, is BEM and IEM the same? No, it is not the same. Board of Engineers Malaysia is different from IEM. Why? Because as I mentioned earlier, I think last lecture, BEM is a government body that regulate by the Registrations of Engineers Act 138, okay, in Malaysia. While IEM is just a professional or learner society for engineer. Okay, so BEM is coming from the law, the one that I asked you to download, Registration of Engineers 1967. Inside that law is mentioned that you need to set up a BEM to govern or regulate the engineering practice. Okay, so BEM is something to do with the law, whereas IEM is just a professionals body or learned society for engineers. Okay, so this is the main difference between BEM and IEM. And for BEM, you cannot apply for any membership. You can only register with BEM. Okay, just like Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara, our IC1, can you apply? Can you apply for membership for Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara? You cannot. You can only apply for license. Apply for IC. You can only register with them only, right? So, but IEM, yes, you can apply to be a member of IEM. Okay, BEM, as I mentioned just now, it is because of the law Act 138. So BEM is a statutory body known as Board of Engineers Malaysia. IEM is a learned society known as Institution of Engineers Malaysia. As I mentioned just now, also you cannot be a member of BEM, but you can register with BEM. You can register with BEM as a graduate engineer upon your graduations. Okay, and why it is important for you to register with BEM? Because if you are not a registered graduate engineer, you are not allowed to practice engineering practices. It will be illegal for you to practice engineering if you are not registered with the Board of Engineers Malaysia. Okay, so very important. Remember, once you graduated, once you get your score and transcript, immediately register with the Board of Engineers Malaysia so that you can start practicing. And not only that, if you want to become a professional engineer, you need 3 to 4 years of working experience. So you can start your working experience under the supervision of a professional engineer once you have registered with the BEM as graduate engineer. So the clock start for 3 to 4 years. Okay. And while for IEM, because it is a society, it is a learned organization or professionals body, you cannot register with IEM, but you can apply to be a member of IEM. So these are the difference. Yeah, BEM you can register but cannot be a member, but IEM you cannot register but you can be a member. Okay, you can be a member of IEM. Now, BEM versus IEM. In other words, BEM is like a one-stop registration center. Yes, whether you are a practicing engineer, you are a professional engineer, or you are engineering technologist, or you are a graduate engineer, you all register with BEM. So it is a one-stop registration center. Okay, and IEM is helping the BEM to formulate the rules and regulation for registrations. Okay, they work very closely with each other. And in terms of historical point of view, IEM is set up earlier than BEM. Yeah, it's set up in just now is 1950s, 50 something, right? So IEM is older than BEM. Okay, there is no way IEM or BEM to there is no IEM way or BEM way to become a professional engineer. Actually, they are almost the same. Whether you want to become an engineer, a professional engineer through IEM or through BEM is the same, okay? If you want to through IEM, that means you need to apply for the corporate membership, okay? Then only you can apply to the BEM to upgrade your graduate engineer to be a professional engineer, okay? So there is no shortcut, there is no shortcut for you to be a professional engineer. Okay, why TAUC want to set up the student chapter of IEM? Why it is why it is important for you to join IEM student chapter? It's because for engineering, it is very important for you to expose into the industrial area, to the industrial activity. You might widen your horizon. You don't only focus on your textbook, on your lecture notes or whatever. You need to have a networking, okay? And the student chapter of IEM has provided this opportunity for you. They may organize a factory visit or whatever so that you can join them and visit, okay? Or they have a seminar or whatever, and there is a chance for you to join them. Okay, this will broaden your horizon. Don't only be a bookworm, just study, study, study. Okay, now, some of the benefits I have listed down here is to get access on proficiency to qualify for registration as a professional engineer. So if you are active member in the IEM, you will know that what are the things that are required to register as a professional engineer so that you can better prepare yourself. Okay. Number two, access to a wide network of fellow engineers in the private and public sector in Malaysia, as well as regional and international engineering bodies. As I mentioned just now, the IEM is also a member of a Commonwealth Engineer Society, right? So they have a network with other international or regional organizations. So if you are the member of that, you have chance to network, to mingle around with the fellow engineers in Malaysia, as well as in the regional or international. Okay, so this will broaden your network. For example, in the technical committee, there is construction, I think there is Industrial Revolution 4 technical committee, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are the member, when the Industrial 4 technical committee organizing any activities, talk or factory visit, you can join in, okay, provided your time permit you to join in. Right. And advanced professional development by attending regular organized in-house talk. Yeah, this is what I mean. Very often the different technical committee of IEM is frequently organized in-house talk, external conference and site visit. So this is a part, as site visit is the factory visit that you can participate, okay? And keep abreast with engineering development via readership of IEM journal and bulletins. Now IEM, they did publish the IEM journal and bulletin, and if you are the IEM one, every week, if I'm not mistaken, it's every week, you will receive a IEM news, okay? Every week they will send you an email talking about what are their activities and what are the news and so on and so forth. So you can keep yourself updated. Formal recognitions of your professions. Yeah, because it is a professionals body. So if you are the member of IEM, then people recognize your professions, okay? Provide an avenue for networking with other engineers outside your company and also an opportunity to meet industrial leader because they always organize seminar, external conferences, site visit or whatever. So you are exposed to the opportunity to network with others engineers outside your company. Okay, as I mentioned, I think last week earlier, when after you graduate, don't just mix around with your engineer's friend also only. Okay, mix with other professions, people in other professions also. Maybe one day you may need them to help you out. Okay, for example, if you have a friends or have a network in the psychologist, so maybe one day you may want to invite the psychologist to give a motivation talk or to discuss with them how to improve the performance of your the performance of your employees. Okay, so same thing as engineering. If you are electrical engineer, don't just limit yourself to mix with people that is from mechanical engineering. You mix with people from electrical engineering. You mix with people from the civil engineering, mechanical engineering, mechatronics engineering, and so forth. Because one day you may need their expertise. You may need to get their advice. Okay, so if your network is there, it is easier for you to source for information. Remember, in today's world, we cannot work alone. No matter how talented you are, you cannot survive by working alone. You need to work as a team, okay? And if your team have a variety of background, then even better, okay? So number 6 is to provide a place or a platform for networking with others engineers outside your company. Number 7, corporate member of IEM are accepted for registration as professional engineer. This is what I mean. If you are the corporate member of IEM, you can apply to BEM to upgrade your corporate membership to from the graduate engineer to professionals engineer, okay? But you still need to go through the interview or exam. Number 8, provide participation in continuing education through seminar, workshop, conferences. Now, if you are the professionals engineer, every year you need, if not mistaken, you need 50 CPD hour professional development course. That's mean even after you graduate, you need to continue attending talks, conferences, forum or whatever to update your knowledge. Okay, and IEM is very frequently organize all these activities frequently. So if you are the member, you can anytime and join in their activities that they are organized, such as talk, conference or whatever, and collect the CPD point. A strong secretariat to support needs of member and provide guidance. They have a very strong secretariat. Anything that you call up, they will help you to. They try to answer you at their best. Okay, and then you will receive a monthly or quarterly publications. As just now say the IEM news or the Jurutera or whatever. Okay, you will receive the publications. And access to a well-equipped library. They also have a library. Okay, you can access to the library if you are the member. Establish relationship with other professionals body concerning matter of mutual interest. As I mentioned just now, you need the wide network that beside or beyond your professions. Okay, so IEM also have a relationship with other professionals body concerning the matter of mutual interest. That is we need them and then they also need us. Okay, so there is opportunity for you to widen your network. Opportunity to be sponsored by IEM to present paper in national or international conference. So if you are the IEM member, that active member, you may have a chance to let them sponsor your IEM, to sponsor you to present paper on behalf of IEM. Okay, and beside all these benefits, there are also some activities organized by the IEM, such as sometimes you purchase certain merchandise product, they will give you discount or whatever, or your credit card or welfare fee. Okay, so these are the benefits of joining IEM. Any question? Class, any question? Okay, if no, let's continue. Okay, IEM membership grade. Okay, so now from the academic point of view, you are studying 4 years academic accredited engineering degree. This is a normal route. Okay, I know some of you are promoted from diploma directly to the year 3. Then you are directly to the year 2. Okay, so year 2, year 3, year 4. Even though you are studying only 3 years, but it is considered as a 4 years engineering program. Because you are studying the diploma, they give you exemption up to 30% of the course syllabus, of the program syllabus. Okay, so it's accredited engineering degree, normal. Then you apply as a student member. Then after you graduate, you can register as a graduate engineer. Okay, and when you are registered as a graduate engineer, you start to work. Okay, so you need to accumulate 3 to 4 years of your experience. Then you need to keep a logbook about your experience, and then under the supervisions of the professionals engineer, you need to get the 2 professionals engineer to sign for you, and then you can sit for the professional development program. Then after that, you go for the professional assessment examinations, and if you are successful through these examinations, then you can qualify yourself. You can call yourself as a professional engineer. Okay, and after you get your professional engineer, it doesn't mean that your learning stop there. Every year, you need to accumulate certain continual professional development hours. For example, you need to attend conferences, you need to attend talk, you need to attend forum and so forth. This is to ensure that your knowledge is up to date. Okay. Now, this one, it seems they no longer have it. Yeah. Now, if your engineering degree is unrecognized by the IEM, what can you do? For example, those who are taking engineering in 3 years program or graduate from UK, okay? So they will find out that there are certain paper that is lacking. So, and then the lack of that few paper make you not qualified to register as a graduate engineer. So they may require you to study another 1 year of master in engineering. Not master in research, master in engineering by taught course. So you still attend lecture to make up the course that you did not study in your undergraduate, and then they will check one by one, case by case to case basis, see whether after you completed your master of engineering, you are qualified to register as a graduate engineer or not. Okay, so those who study for 3 years, actually there is no advantage. Because if you want to practice engineering in Malaysia, somehow or other, you still need to go to study another year of master. Okay, so in Malaysia, we consider as a master of engineering as a first degree, almost same as bachelor degree. Okay, if you look at some of the foreign university branches here, they are offering engineering degree 3 years plus MN, master in engineering. Okay, that is because of the requirement of the Board of Engineer Malaysia. You need to have at minimum 4 years engineering study in order for you to have enough or sufficient knowledge to be an engineer. Okay, if you have only 3 years, that means there are certain knowledge you haven't acquired yet, then you need to acquire such knowledge during your master in engineering. Okay, but before you enroll into the master of engineering, better check with BEM. Is it suitable for you or not? Otherwise, after you study the master in engineering, then BEM say, oh no, there are another few papers are missing, then you are in trouble. Okay, so please be very careful. Okay, how about the membership, student membership? Okay, a student shall be a person who is not less than 17 years old of age. Okay, I think all of you are 17 and above, isn't it? Right, SPM is already 18 or 19 already. So all of you are eligible to be a member of student chapter. The student should be studying engineering in recognized university or college or equivalent academic standing. Okay, it must be an engineering student. It cannot be a computer science student. So a student pursuing a course of engineering approved by IEM Council, the program that you are pursuing must be accredited by the Engineering Accreditation Council. And if it is accredited by the Engineering Accreditation Council, EAC, then it will be approved by the IEM Council. Okay, candidate enroll for Part 1, Part 2 or IEM graduate examinations or examination of an overseas professional institution recognized by IEM Council. If your, back to that one, if your recognition is not, your degree is not recognized by IEM, BEM, you may want to go for Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3 examinations in order to get the recognition for BEM. Okay, but so far as I know, they have stopped conducting this examination. Okay, so this is the requirement for the student member. So you look at yourself, you are more than 17 years old, you are studying an engineering degree that is recognized by IEM, so you can apply for the student membership. Yeah. So what you need to do is you apply for you get a form, then you attach your birth certificate, your diploma certificate or transcript, STPM and SPM certificate, and then you can just apply for the student membership already. Okay. Okay, and as for a graduate member is a candidate or admission or transfer into this grade from student membership or directly apply to a graduate member shall not be less than 21 years old. Okay, so that means you need to be 21 and older, yeah, in order to be a graduate engineer, and shall produce evidence of the satisfaction of the IEM Council that he has graduated in engineering from a recognized university by an accredited engineering degree. Okay, so after you graduated from TAUC, you can straight away apply. Your age is already more than 21 and your degree is recognized by the Board of Engineer Malaysia, so you can apply as the graduate engineer. Okay, so what are the document needs? Bear in mind, this one may change from time to time. Okay, if you want to apply, it's better for you to go to IEM website and check. and also BEM website to check what are the documents that they need. Okay, this one application form, birth certificate, registration letter as graduate engineer with the Board of Engineers Malaysia. Okay, you need to register with Board of Engineers, then only you can register with the IEM. Okay, degree and diploma certificate together with transcript, evidence to show that the discipline or branches of engineering you study is nothing certificate, STPM, SPM, GCE, all this you need to supply, you need to submit. Okay. And if those UK graduate, they need to provide evidence to show that they have spent 2 years in UK, in the University of UK. Okay, so this is one additional requirement. But sometimes in UK, they may not recognize your degree unless you have a master in engineering. Okay. Okay, IEM membership grade, corporate member, the one that can apply to upgrade to the professionals engineer. Okay, a candidate for elections into this grade shall provide evidence that satisfied to the satisfaction of the IEM Council that he is worthy of election, that means he's qualified. He has a graduate qualification as approved by the IEM Council or approved by EAC, then they will automatically be approved by IEM Council. Okay. And in order to be a corporate member, he is a graduate engineer for a minimum of 3 to 4 years based on the period specified by IEM. Okay. So if you want to upgrade your membership from graduate engineer to corporate member, you need to have working experience 3 to 6 year working experience, depending on what the boards want you to do. Okay. So working experience of 3 years or more for those graduating before 1st of January 1998. Okay, that is 3 years. If you graduated in 1997, then you need 3 years working experience. But if you're graduating in the year 2021, that is after 1st January 1998, then you need to working experience of 4 to 6 years. Okay, and preferably the candidate must be working under the guidance of a professional engineer. When you are working in the industry, when you're just like I mentioned, you need to keep your logbook, right? So you need to show IEM that you are practicing engineering under a supervision of a professional engineer. Okay, the logbook is not simply written down, jot down anything by you. It need to be checked by a professional engineer. Okay, so it's an understudy, a professional engineer. Okay, what is working experience? Working experience here means practical experience in engineering. Okay, not theoretical. In a university, you are studying theoretical engineering plus a little bit of practical. But when you are in the industry, you are practicing experience. Basically your work is practical. Okay, so and in working experience means practical experience in manner of satisfactory of the council. In terms of planning, design, executive, or management of such work as are comprised with the professions of engineering, or in engineering research, or the teaching of engineering in course leading to qualifications. Okay, so your working experience must be involved practical experience that is involved planning, designing, implementing of our management of your work. Okay, whether it is a professional engineering or you are working in the engineering research or teaching engineering. Okay, so all these are counted as working experience. Okay, so you need to under guidance of a professional engineer. Yeah, be very careful, and you need to keep the log. Okay, this is the pathway how we do it. Okay, experience clearly tabulated after the date of graduation and break down the experience recorded in months. Okay, so your logbook is in month. Okay, after you have registered with the Board of Engineers Malaysia, then you start your logbook. Then every month you have one or two pages of your logbook, and you need to get, because you need to under the supervision of a professional engineer, right? So you need to get a signature of 2 engineers to verify your experience. Okay. And for your civil engineering candidate, at least 1 year on site and 1 year design experience are required. It's more stringent. Okay. So after that, you can fill in the form and apply to BEM and to upgrade your this qualification to corporate member. Okay, once you have upgraded your membership to a corporate member, then you can apply to BEM as a professionals member, a professional engineer. Okay, so this is a road. How are we going to be a corporate member of IEM? Okay, up to here, any question? Any question? If no question, I give you a 5 minutes break. Then come back. Then we look at the route to professional engineer through BEM. Okay, what is the time now? So now is 10:55. So 11 a.m. we come back. Okay. So give you 5 minutes break. Sorry, when I presenting my screen, I cannot see the checkbox. Okay, so if you all have key in some word in the checkbox, I cannot see because I only see my PowerPoint slide only. Okay, is everybody back? Can we start the class now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now let's look at the route. How are we going to be a professional engineer? Okay. Now, how many of you want to become a professional engineer? Any one of you?
No.
No, you just want to stop at the graduate engineer level. Okay, so now you may think of whether you want to be what say the engineer or not. Did I record? Let me check.
Yeah, still recording.
Still recording, okay. Right. Okay. So this is for your informations in case you have changed your mind, you want to become a professional engineer. But most of the practicing engineer, there is no harm because while you are working, there is no additional things. The only additional thing is only you do the log work and sit for the exam or interview only, right? So it is advisable, it is better for you to become a professional engineer. Now, okay, what is professional engineer? You see, there are someone in front of their name, there is a IR in front, isn't it? Okay, that is called engineer. For example, IR Liu, we call engineer Liu, IR Lau, engineer Lau. Okay, but commonly in Malaysia, we don't call them engineer, we call IR, right? So you can put your name IR in front, or after your name you put PN, professional engineer. Yeah, you put PN. Let me set my pointer. Okay, so PN, professional engineer. If you don't put IR in front of your name, and then after your name, you can put PN, okay? It is a term referred to a qualified engineers with practicing with license from the Board of Engineer Malaysia, okay? Now, how to be a professional engineer? First thing first, the very basic is you must be a graduate engineer first. Okay, in order to be a graduate engineer, you need to go through a formal educations. Okay, so your qualification is here. Okay, your academic qualification is here, and because then you need to have a 3 to 4 years of practical experience. So you have we are working experience here. Okay, 3 to 4 years of working experience. And your experience, you need to record it down. What have you done? What are your experience? And under the supervision of a professional engineer, isn't it? So you need to have this documentation here. Okay. So this part will make you a professional engineer. You have qualifications, you have working 3 to 4 years of working experience, and then your experience are properly my standard block properly documented. Okay. So you have these 3 components in order for you to apply to be a professional engineer. Okay, a professional engineer is a person who is governed by regulatory law, Act 138, okay, when performing his duties as an engineer. Okay, it is governed by regulatory, it's not no regulation. It's governed by the Registrations of Engineers Act 1967 or Act 138, okay. The law are mentioned in the Engineering Act 1967, okay, as I mentioned just now. And he or she is to perform duty as an engineer mean to endorse any engineering requirement with the PE seal. That's when they can sign. Okay, this one is talking about professional engineer with practicing license, yeah. Okay, remember last week I did tell you that there are 2 types of professional engineer. One is the professional engineer with practicing license, where he can sign or endorse the document for approval, can sign the plan or whatever. There's another category not. Okay, the category that cannot sign the drawing or whatever usually is lecturer lah. Okay, because due to the nature of the work, they no need to design and let the authority to approve. Okay, so to perform duty as an engineer means to endorse any engineering requirement with the PE seal. Those with engineering PE, they have a rubber stamp there. Okay, so this is a PE seal. Many people claim that they are engineers, but actually if you check in Malaysia, when you go to any factory, there are many engineers, but when you check, are they registered with the Board of Engineer Malaysia? They say no. What is your basic degree? My degree is chemistry, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. But the company give them a title called production engineer. Okay? But from the professional's point of view, engineer are those that register with an entity appointed by the government, that is BEM. Okay? So from the professional point of view, only engineers that register with BEM is qualified to call themselves engineers. If you are a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, even though the company give you a job title is a production engineer, but you are not a qualified engineer per se. Okay, because you are not registered with the Board of Engineer Malaysia as graduate engineer. And even though you try to register, BEM will reject your application because your degree is not degree in engineering. Your degree is degree in science. Okay, so BEM, always remember, only recognize those 4 years engineering program accredited by the Engineering Accreditation Council. Okay, so when you register with BEM, you receive the registration number and registration level. BEM will tell you what is your registration number. So next time when you communicate with BEM, whatever, you need to use your number, and then what is the level of your registration, or is graduate engineer or whatever, and in which field, chemical engineering, civil engineering, or whatever, it will be clearly stated in the letter delivered to you by BEM. Okay, from engineer to professionals engineer. Only graduate engineer who demonstrate capability as engineers are qualified to upgrade their membership, to upgrade their status to PE, to professionals engineer. Okay, again, I cannot emphasize enough that if you are graduated from TAUC and then you did not register with Board of Engineer Malaysia as a graduate engineer, even after 5 years of working experience, you are not allowed to upgrade your qualification to PE, okay, because you are not a graduate engineer, okay, even though you have 5 years or 10 years experience, sorry, no. So you need to graduate, you need to register with BEM as a graduate engineer, okay. After you have registered with BEM as a graduate engineer, then you can apply as a graduate engineer in the IEM, okay, as a professionals member. Okay, and your registration level will change from graduate engineer to professionals engineer. Definitely, once you upgraded to PE, professionals engineer, then you change your status from graduate engineer to professional engineer. Okay, and you cannot register as a professional engineer. In other words, you cannot straight away apply to be a professional engineer. You need to apply. You need to first become graduate engineer only. Then only you can become a professional engineer. That's why you must be upgraded. Okay, remember, you cannot directly apply to be a professional engineer. You must upgrade your membership, your status from graduate engineer. Okay. So from here, I hope you understand that what should I as a graduate engineer know to do to upgrade myself. Yeah, you need to register with Board of Engineer Malaysia. Okay, professionals engineer, FAQ. BEM only accredited degree of local university for recognitions, okay? Not only local degree with 4 years of engineering studies, okay? And which organization is accrediting the degree? Engineering Accreditation Council, okay, set up by BEM. In cases of foreign degree, BEM base its recognitions from respective accreditation bodies such as Engineering Council in UK, ABET for USA degree, and so forth. So they will, if you are overseas degree, they will also look at their national engineering organizations, so to see whether they recognize or not. Okay, the list of recognized degree is available at the BEM Secretariat for viewing. Actually, you can go to the EAC website. You also can see that which engineering program is accredited. EAC means Engineering Accreditation Council. You can go to their website, and then there's a list of the engineering listed down there, and then they put down the date when you graduate and when is recognized by EAC. Okay, And after the due date, then the institution need to invite EAC to go to re-accredit again. So they go through another checking. All right. So this is what happened in Malaysia. Okay. After graduations, an engineer needs to register with Board of Engineer Malaysia. I cannot emphasize enough. I think I have mentioned this repeatedly so many times. Okay, it is very important for you to register with Board of Engineer Malaysia after your graduations. Okay, after a few years of practical experience, usually 3 to 4 years of working experience, supervised by a professional engineer or under mentorship program, the graduate engineer can apply to sit for professional interview. Okay, after you have get your log for 3 years, and then they assessed by the professional engineer, then you can apply to IEM or BEM to sit for professionals interview. Okay, and if he or she passed the interview, and he or she can apply to BEM to be a professional engineer, that entitle him to use the title PEng. Okay, so this is the step. This is summary what you should do. Okay. An engineer who has just graduated with a recognized qualification must register with the Board of the Engineer Malaysia again, repeat again, then register as graduate member for a minimum period of 3 to 4 years, or even sometimes 6 years, depending on what the board want. Okay, and then you can start obtaining the necessary, once you are registered with the Board of Engineer Malaysia, you can start obtaining the necessary training and experience, normally 3 years before you attempt to sit for the professional interview. Okay, professional interview it comprises of a written exam and also an interview. Okay, it's an exam to qualify graduate members of IEM to be corporate member. Once you have become a corporate member, then you can apply to BEM as a professionals engineer. Okay, subsequently he or she can apply to upgrade their status to professional engineer with the Board of Engineer Malaysia. Okay, so this is a flow that I have shown you just now. Any question? Right? Any question? Okay, no. Professionals engineer FAQ. What benefit does one receive upon becoming being conferred a professional engineer status? Why should we be a professional engineer? Why can't we just stop at a graduate engineer? Nobody can stop you from being a graduate engineer. But if you are becoming a professional engineer with practicing license, this one is with practicing license. It can sign plans for submission to local authority. That's when you can design, you can make your drawing or whatever to apply for approval from the local authorities. Okay, like JKR and so forth. But if you are just a professional without any practicing license, sorry, you can't do that. Okay. Now, this is the route or the summary how to become a professional engineer through IEM. Okay, as I mentioned just now, after you graduate, you register with the Board of BEM, and if your degree is not recognized, then you may want to go for the Master of Engineering in coursework. Okay, or you sit for the graduate Part 2, Part 3 exam. Then after that, you register with the IEM as graduate member. Then you work for 3 to 4 years to get the to get the necessary practical experience. Then at the same time, you are recording your training experience in the logbook. Okay, and then what are the courses that you attended? And then after that, apply for professional interview. Once you're successful for the professional interview, then you are considered as a member of IEM or corporate member of IEM. And once you are the member of, once you have this corporate status, you can apply to BEM to convert it, to upgrade your graduate engineer to professional engineer. Okay, so this is the route that how we can apply to become a professional engineer through IEM. Okay, now let's look at through BEM, but it's almost the same. Okay, the first thing, you also need to register with the Board of Engineer Malaysia as graduate engineer. Okay, and after the graduate engineer, then you work for 3 to 4 years, accumulate your experience, keep a record of your training in the logbook form, attended courses to make sure that your knowledge is up to date and so forth. Then you apply for professional assessment exam. Okay, and then after if you pass the professional assessment exam, then you can register with BEM as a professional engineer. Okay, so the route is almost the same. Only this one is professional interview, this one is professional exam. Okay. Now, training. Whatever training that you have attended must be documented and completed under a professional engineer in the same field as a candidate. Okay, whatever training that you have gone through, you need to be documented. Okay, just like your industrial training, you need to document what you are doing and so forth. Okay, so in order if you have want to become a professional engineer, you need to document your training. Okay, even though some of you just now, I think some of you, is it Zhongyi? I'm not sure, say that you don't want to be a professional engineer, but it is no harm while you are working as a graduate engineer, just keep a logbook. Who knows, one day your boss may want you to be a professional engineer. Okay, just no harm, just keep a logbook and under the supervision of a professional engineer. After 3 years, you can apply to be a IR. Okay, now PDP is a professional development program. Previously, before year 2016, or it is compulsory that if those who want to apply for the professional engineer need to go through all this training. Code of ethics, you need to have at least 12 hours, health and safety at work 12 hours and blah, blah, blah. But after February 15, 2016, all these are abolished. All this is no longer compulsory. Okay, so since this one is no longer compulsory, I don't go in details with this. Okay, professionals interview. Professionals interview comprises of two things. One is the written examinations and one is the oral examinations. Okay, both will test you on the technical issue and also non-technical issue like your communication skill, your ethic, and so forth. Yeah, so this is a professionals interview. A successful professionals engineer, you can add IR in front of your name, then people will call you engineer, Yi or engineer, whatever, in front of your name, and or if you don't want to put it in front of your name, you can put it after you behind your name, then P, capital E, and GN, okay, under your name. Please take note that it is an offense punishable by law to impersonate a PE. If you are not a PE, you are not allowed to claim yourself as a PE. Otherwise, you will be sued. Okay. In Malaysia, only PE whose name are in the registrar of BEM are allowed to use IR in front of their name. BEM has maintained registrations that all your names, your particular are there. So only those names are registered with BEM can claim themselves as a professional engineer. Right. The professional engineer who intend to be registered as a professional engineer with practicing certificate under Section 10D of Act 138 or Registration of Engineering Act 1967 shall pass the professional competency examination. Now, if you just want to be a professional engineer, you will stop there after you have get a professional engineer. But if you think that I want to sign drawing, I want to sign my design for authority approval, that means you want to be a professional engineer with practicing certificate or with practicing license, then you need to go one step further. You have to sit for the professional competency examinations. Okay, so these are the difference between the professional engineer with and without practicing certificate. Okay, now after you have become the professional engineer, it's not end of the world. It doesn't mean that, okay, everything is over. No, it's not over yet. You still need to attend seminar, forum, whatever to update your knowledge. And your requirement is every year you must accumulate 50 CPD hours. Okay, for example, you're attending a seminar for 8 hours. They may give you 7 CPD hours. So you still need to accumulate 43 credit hours. Okay, otherwise you are not allowed to renew your professional engineering status. Okay, so this is CPD. It is very important. Okay, basically for the past two weeks lecture, the information that I pass it to you is coming from the IEM website, BEM website, magazine, form, or whatever. Okay, so this is basically the source of information that I have gathered. Okay, so any question? Any question?
No,
Okay,
sir.
if no, then I will call your name and then let's have a short quiz, yeah? Oh. need to open your name. Wait, give me a minute. Okay. Brenda? Brenda, are you there?
Yes,
Yes, can you tell me what is the difference between BEM and IEM?
you can only register at BEM, but you can be a member of IEM.
Oh,
Then
very good.
after you accumulate your experience in under guidance of professional engineer, then you can upgrade your graduated engineer level
Graduate
to
engineer, not graduated,
professional
graduate engineer.
engineer.
Okay, you answered my second question already. I supposed to ask, you already answered. Okay, thank you. All right, okay. Supian, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it
Is it
illegal if we
illegal
practice
to practice
engineering
engineering
without register
without
with
register
BEM?
with BEM?
Is it an
Is
offense?
it? Uh, no, is legal.
It's legal. Okay, the answer is no. If you do not register with BEM, you are not allowed to practice engineering practice. You consider illegal engineer. Okay? So Supian, make sure you register with Board of Engineer. Don't simply go and practice your engineering practice. You get me,
Okay.
Supian? Okay, you need to
Yes.
register. All the graduates of engineering need to register with BEM in order to practice engineering. Okay? Seng Hing,
Yes, sir.
okay. What are the qualifications of a graduate engineer in order for someone to apply for a graduate engineer?
Graduate.
What are the qualifications required?
Qualification for what?
Okay, let's say now you want to apply for graduate member, right? So what are your qualifications?
The qualification.
Hmm. You must know whether you are qualified to be a graduate engineer, then only you apply, right?
Yeah.
So what are the criteria that you have to meet?
The certificate,
What certificate?
the engineering certificate. After you finish your course,
Sorry, what do you mean by engineering certificate? What is that?
the 4-year study certificate.
Oh, your certificate of graduation, is it, and your transcript? Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to study for how many years?
4 years, sir.
4 years. Okay, good.
Ah.
All right. Sujia,
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
what is the full name of EAC?
Engineering Accreditation Council.
Very good. Sok Ling,
Yes,
what are the requirements to be a member of student chapter of IEM? Is it anyone can be a student member?
no.
Then what are the criteria that he or she has to meet?
I must complete an engineering course.
If you complete an engineering course, then you apply for graduate member already. Now I'm talking about student member of IEM Student Chapter.
Must be
more than 17 years old.
Yes. There is one of the criteria. Another one.
Study a course related to engineering.
Okay, study an engineering course that accredited or recognized by BEM. Okay, right. Lee Hong,
Yes.
assuming you have got your professional engineer status, what are the wording that you can put in front and or at the back of your name?
Sir, can you repeat the question? So I lost my
Assuming
connection.
you have successfully applied to be a professional, to upgrade your membership to be a professionals engineer, okay? So what are the alphabet or words that you can put in front of your name or after your name?
IR.
IR is where? After your name.
Before.
Okay, in front of your name, before your name, and then after your name, what, if you don't want to put IR, you want to put behind your name, what can you put?
PE.
Yeah, okay, very good. Ernest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have a degree, engineering degree that is not recognized by BEM, but you still want to be a graduate member, what are you going to do?
You mean the degrees obtained from the UK, right?
Uh,
So if this is the case, then we will have to study one more year as a top up.
Study
in
one more
order-
year of what?
Advanced degree or master.
Okay. Can it be a master in research?
Master in research.
Master got two types of master, yeah. One is master of research. That means they only study one or two paper, such as research methodology. Then after that, they go to lab and do experiment doing research. Okay. There is another master by taught course is just like what you are doing now. You just attend lecture, sit for exam, and then do one final year project. That's it. That is master by taught course.
Master by top course.
Okay, why? Okay, I asked why to Hu Hing Dong. Thank you, Ernest.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So what question?
The question is what question? No? I asking just now Ernest say if your degree is not recognized by IEM or BEM, you need to further study into the Master of Engineering by top course. Okay. My question is why cannot be master in research? Why must be a master of top course? Because master by research at least study 2 years, should have much better knowledge.
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, you call someone to help you to answer.
Chua Yu Yang.
Chua Yu Yang. Yu Yang, where are you?
Yes, sir.
Very soft, Yu Yang. Cannot hear you.
Hello.
I cannot hear you.
Hello.
Speak louder.
Still cannot hear.
Then cannot hear.
Like this.
Okay, better. Slightly better.
Okay. So can you repeat the question again?
Okay, I say if your bachelor degree of engineering is not recognized by IEM or BEM and you still want to apply as a graduate member of IEM, then you need to do a top-up master in engineering. And my question is, why top master? Why not master in research?
Maybe you need to save the time.
Sorry, save what?
Save the time consumed.
No. Can you compare those study 4 years and those study 3 years? Who is more knowledgeable?
4 years.
4 years. So those study 3 years one, they may have some paper missing, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? They may have some knowledge that the 4 years people got, but they don't have. Because of that, you want to top up your knowledge, you want to add in additional knowledge, so you need to go for Thought Master. Because Thought Master, they teach you module, teach you the course, so you gain the theoretical knowledge. Whereas if you go for Master of Research, you may not have the opportunity to learn the knowledge that you don't have. You're only doing research. You get me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right? That's why for what a BEM say, they want you to go for the Thought Master. But bear in mind, before you register for a Thought Master, check with BEM. Is it recognized? Is it the subject that you are going to study in the Thought Master meet the requirement of BEM? Because your 3 years degree may have a shortage of few subjects. So whether the shortage of this few subject, is it covered in your Master of Engineering or not? If not, then you still cannot register as a graduate engineer. Okay, Wai Hong. Wai Hong? Jean Wai Hong, are you there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is engineering?
What is engineering? Engineering is the use of scientific principle to design and build something. Then
yeah, is a creative application of a scientific principle to create
solve-
or to
solve
design.
problem.
Yeah, to solve problem.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, to solve the problem. Let me see who. Kian Sing. Go Kian Sing.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Kian Sing. What is the law that govern the regulations? What is the law that regulated engineering activities?
Law.
Mm.
Wait, yeah, sir. I don't know. It's Registration of Engineers Act 1967.
Yes, very good. Or Act 138.
Sorry?
No, there is another name. It's called Act 138.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right, class, up to here, any question? Before we end the class today, I'll end the class earlier. So before we end the class, any question?
No.
Okay. So next week, we are going into the technology and society. Okay. So this is very interesting part. And I need you to have a full attention on that because exam is going to come out related to this CLO and technology and society. Okay. Basically, what are we going to study is we are going to look at how does the society changes, how does the technology changes the society, just as what you have discussed during your 2 tutorial, okay? And there are some theory behind there also, so I want you to pay full attention on that, okay? Right, before I end the class, any question?
No.
Okay, if no question, thank you, class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Start doing your assignment already. Don't wait until the last minute. Okay.